My wife told her mother she only married me because I was the stable and convenient option, claimed only one of our kids might be mine, and admitted she had been planning to leave as soon as I put her name on the house. She thought she was playing me. What happened next proved she underestimated me completely. Hello, Reddit I Plus here. Hey, grab something to drink because this is a storm. I am a quiet guy who rarely posts, but when life drops a nuclear truth bomb on your marriage, you either break or you make it count. I chose the second. This is not a rage story. This is a slow burn, discovery, confrontation, hidden truths, a reveal that twists everything. Background: I met Sabrina at work. She was fun, full of energy, and made me feel alive. I grew up in chaos, so stability was my mission in life. I worked, saved, and planned. She loved that, or so I thought. Her mother, Agnes, always had this smug tone when she spoke to me, like she was tolerating me, like I was a placeholder. I brushed it off. Love can make you stupid. We got married. We had 2 kids. Life slowed down into routine. I worked. I provided. I treasured my family. I thought I had everything I ever wanted. Then came the day my world cracked. The new discovery. It happened on a random Tuesday evening. Kids were asleep. Sabrina was in the kitchen talking to her mother on a video call. She thought I was outside, but I came back inside to grab my laptop. I froze when I heard, "He was the safest option. He is reliable and boring. I needed security. Once the house is fully in my name, I will leave. I do not need him anymore." Silence. My heart stopped. She kept going. "Honestly, I still do not know if both kids are his. Probably just one. But he trusts me. He always does. He is an easy target." Her mother laughed. She replied, "Good. Get everything you can, then drop him. He served his purpose." I do not remember how I stood still without shattering into pieces. I moved quietly back outside like a ghost leaving his own body. That night was the birth of a new version of me, a colder one, a calculating one, because something inside me died. I quiet build up. I told no one. I acted normally. I hugged my kids. I kissed Sabrina. I went to work, but inside I was planning. Weeks became months. I slowed down the process of transferring full ownership of the house. I needed more paperwork. I needed to refinance first. I kept pushing dates. Every delay was a shield. Then I spoke to 2 people. A private investigator, a lawyer who looked at me the way doctors look at patients who finally admit the wound is infected. The PI found things. Texts with another guy, years old, plans, conversations about money, about me, about how predictable I was, about how she wanted to trap me for life security before dumping me. But the worst came from the lawyer. He recommended DNA testing before any moves. So I did, quietly, legally, carefully. Results came in. 1 child was mine. 1 was not. I had to sit in my car for 2 hours before I could drive home. Not because of anger, because of grief, real grief, the kind that hollows you out. But I still did not confront her. Not yet. Because information is power, and I needed every atom of it. The confrontation. I waited until everything was ready. House, still legally mine alone. Bank accounts, protected. Evidence, organized. Lawyer, prepared. One night after dinner when the kids were asleep, I asked her to sit with me in the living room. She rolled her eyes, thinking I wanted to talk about refinancing again. Instead, I placed 3 things on the table. Printed DNA results. Photos of her and the other man from different years. Transcripts of her conversation with her mother. Her face changed layer by layer. Confusion, then shock, then fear, then anger. She tried to lie. Then she tried to cry. Then she tried to blame me. Finally, she tried to flip it and scream that I violated her privacy. I simply told her, "You played a game. I learned the rules, and now the game is over." She begged me not to tell her mother. That was interesting. The same woman she plotted with was suddenly the person she did not want disappointed. Now came the hidden truth. The hidden truth. Sabrina thought I was dumb. She thought I was slow. She thought I was naive enough to put everything under her control. What she never realized was this. I never fully trusted her mother. On the day we got married, my lawyer suggested something. Quiet, unassuming, hidden in boring paperwork, a clause on the property. Even if her name was added later, she could never remove me. She could never sell without my consent. She could never claim majority ownership, and if infidelity involving another child was discovered, full rights revert to me alone. She did not know because she never read the boring documents. The same boring that made me safe. She mocked it, but it saved me. The reveal. She tried fighting legally. She tried using emotions. She tried playing the perfect mother card. The court did not care about theatrics. The other man was dragged into this. He broke down. Confirmed everything. Confirmed the child was his. Confirmed the plan. Her mother tried to scream in court. The judge nearly threw her out. I got full custody of my biological child. The other child was given to the biological father after he fought for responsibility. Turns out, he wanted to step up once exposed. Painful. But at least that child had someone who truly loved them. The house? Mine. Her security? Gone. Her plan? Shattered. She left the courtroom pale, shaking, defeated, and suddenly very small. She used to talk about power. Now she walked with regret. Do I feel victorious? A little. Do I feel pain? A lot. This is not a celebration story. This is a lesson story. I loved someone who looked at me like a paycheck. I built a life with someone who treated me like a temporary investment. But I protected myself without even realizing how much it would matter. Stability saved me. Careful planning saved me. Being boring saved me. Sometimes the strongest people are the ones who do not scream, do not break furniture, do not explode immediately. Sometimes the strongest are quiet. They observe. They prepare. They strike once. And it is final. Final reflection. She thought she was playing chess. She did not realize I stopped being a piece on her board the moment I heard the truth. She underestimated me. Her regret is permanent. My peace is finally real. And that is the twist. The person she thought was the safest fool became the storm that ended her illusion. If you read this, let it sit. Love deeply, but protect yourself. Trust, but verify. And never ignore red flags just because you want the fairy tale. Sometimes the fairy tale is written by someone who already chose the ending. After the verdict, you would think she would accept defeat. No. Losing control did something to her. She spiraled. And suddenly the confident woman who plotted my downfall was crying on phone calls, sending long messages about family, history, and doing what is best for the children. But every apology had a price tag. Every tear came with an expectation. She kept trying to meet me accidentally, at the grocery store, outside schools, at places she never used to care about. Always with the same script. I made mistakes. It was pressure. You were not affectionate enough. I was lonely. We can rebuild. For the children. It was never remorse. It was negotiation. And standing behind her like a shadow, always lurking, always interfering, was her mother. The mother's mask falls off. Her mother showed up once with a forced, polite smile. She spoke gently. Too gently. It felt like talking to a snake that learned to speak. She sat across from me and slowly removed her gloves of fake dignity. She tried to play wise elder. She tried to play victim of life. Then she played her final card. Her story. She confessed. She admitted she had been a single mother who used multiple men for stability over the years. None worked out. She convinced her daughter that security is earned through manipulation because love fails. Men cannot be trusted. Relationships are transactions. She raised her daughter with survival logic. Feelings are tools. Stability is prey. Marriage is business. She looked at me and said, almost proudly, "You were the final investment. You were supposed to be the successful one." That is when I realized something chilling. This was never just about betrayal. It was generational training. When manipulation failed, they tried power. She filed again. Suddenly, I was labeled neglectful, emotionally abusive, financially controlling, using the court system to oppress her. She demanded massive child support. She demanded alimony. She demanded emotional compensation. Court again. Evidence again. Judge again. Her lies collapsed under proof, timelines, messages, recorded calls, contradictions in testimony, and ultimately, her own ego. At one point, she snapped in court and screamed that she deserved compensation for wasted years. The courtroom went silent. The judge stared at her like she had just confessed to a robbery. Her mother tried to storm forward, shouting about how men destroy families and how I robbed her daughter of life. Security escorted her out. The case backfired. She lost more. Legally restricted from harassing contact. Financial attempts shut down. Reputation shattered. The venting campaign. So they tried something else. Public narrative. Family members started calling me with half-truths. Old friends messaging with concern. Suddenly online relatives posted vague statements about heartless husbands abandoning women after using them. She constructed a sad story where she was the loyal wife, replaced by a cold, heartless man, who discarded his family when he became successful. She posted pictures holding the child who was not mine, writing emotional captions about fighting alone. She cried to anyone who would listen. Except evidence existed. Truth has weight. Evidence has a voice. People slowly began distancing themselves. Those who supported her started asking questions she could not answer. Victimhood wears thin when facts exist. The final betrayal attempt. Just when I thought it was over, she tried one more thing. She tried to reconnect through my child. Fake warmth, sudden kindness, gifts, apologies again. We can move forward for the child. Forgive me so we can co-parent peacefully. For a brief second, I softened. Not for her, for the child caught in chaos they never asked for. Then she slipped. She forgot who she was speaking to and what I already knew. One night, I overheard a whispered phone conversation. She was planning to manipulate Sympathy to get back into the house and eventually reattempt a financial takeover. Same script, different route. That was the last straw. Every illusion burned. The final confrontation. I did not yell. I did not insult. I did not argue. I simply told her, "Stop. I know exactly what you are doing. I know who trained you. I know what you think love means. I am not your safety plan. I am not your stepping stone. I am not your investment strategy. I am done." She looked at me with something I had never seen before. Not anger, not arrogance. Fear. Fear of finally running out of games to play. Fear of losing control permanently. Fear of realizing the person she counted on to be predictable, compliant, soft, and easily manipulated was gone forever. Her mother tried calling later. I blocked her. She tried messaging through relatives. Blocked them. They tried guilt, shame, religion, nostalgia, silence from me. The walk away. That was the real ending. Not the courtroom. Not the DNA results. Not the property win. The real ending was peace. Walking away from manipulation is not dramatic. It is not loud. It is not cinematic. It is quiet. It is breathing without weight on your chest. It is sleeping without checking your phone. It is living without performing emotional survival games. It is raising my child with honesty instead of strategy. I did not destroy them. They destroyed themselves. By trying to control everything, they lost everything. The lesson: if you take anything from this story, love is not ownership. Security is not something you steal. Family is not built on strategy. Manipulation is not intelligence. And sometimes walking away is not weakness. It is the strongest move on the board. She thought she was unbeatable. Her mother thought she was wise. They both forgot one thing. Sometimes the quiet person is simply the one who has learned to stop playing. And that is how I truly won.